Hello and welcome back to Team Fortress 2 with Bobson, playing a bit of Landfall today, the fourth map that was released in the Tough Break update last month. I saved this one for last, mainly because when it was first released it was a little bit buggy. Well, I wouldn't really say buggy, as there was a few exploit points around the map that really did make it not fun to play. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice map, very well designed, except when it first released, there was an area you could get up onto right at where the intelligence areas are, up on top of the main buildings, where you're not supposed to be able to get to. Basically, sentry gun, you could sentry gun jump, or rocket jump, or sticky jump, and get up on top of there, and what engineers would do is they would sentry gun jump up there, and then rescue ranger their sentry gun up, and just stand up there camping all day long, and no one could actually get to them except for soldiers or something like that, if they were very, very lucky and could get a shot off on them. But yeah, I think they fixed it. I'm not sure. At least that's what it was like when it was first released. I don't know, maybe they fixed that, I don't know. But yeah, it's a nice map, it's a lovely map. It is a capture the flag map, and it is fun. Yeah. Playing a bit of my spy today, mainly because I have a contract for that. The other contract was for an engineer, and I don't think you guys want to sit there watching me look at the ass end of a sentry gun for 20 minutes. So, yeah. Okay, so what is it I want to talk about while I am running around horrible, horrible spy that I am? Because I am horrible at spy. So what is it I want to talk about? Last week, what was I doing last week? I don't know. I don't remember what I was talking about last week. But yeah, last week on my channel, I had more Fallout New Vegas. I'm coming to the end of Fallout New Vegas. I mean, I have all of the DLCs I could probably play and put up on my channel, but quite frankly, I'm getting a bit sick of Fallout New Vegas. And it's been going for nearly a year now. Over 100 episodes, so I might end that at some point in the coming month or two. I'm not sure. Let's see, Terraria. More Terraria came out last week, and more Terraria is planned for the coming week. Let's see, last week I finally got some wings, and I finally got one of the, let's see, what was it, golden fishing rod, and a couple of other cool things, and a couple more mounts, and one more mount, and like that. The turtle mount from the fishing stuff, which was very nice. If you missed that, go check it out. Next week should be more Terraria. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, but I should have some more stuff up for next week. Let's see, Don't Starve. Again, I am doing another Don't Starve shipwreck, this time with Willow, who is the one that carries around the little lighter and sets stuff on fire whenever she gets very nervous, which in hindsight is very not good, because it has come back to bite me already. So yeah, if you missed that, there should be more episodes coming out tomorrow, Sunday, and tomorrow is Sunday, yeah, Sunday, and next Wednesday, so stay tuned for that if you like my Don't Starve series, or just watching me do stupid stuff and set stuff on fire. So, yeah. Let's see, is that everything? Yeah, that's basically it for my channel. What else do I want to talk about? Well, I got a new game. Well, not really a new game. It's Banished. It's a city builder game. Came out a year or two ago on Steam. I got it for Christmas. Somebody gave it to me. And I've actually considered playing it for my channel. Although I don't really know. Do you guys like watching city builder games and like that? It's basically SimCity with a medieval style village that you have to keep track of and build up. And use your little villagers to build the town, and you have to maintain their jobs and stuff like that. I find it a lot of fun. I've always loved SimCity and sim games like that. But I don't really know if it'd work on my channel though. So that's one of the things I've considered putting out there if I finish out Fallout. Or I might just find something else to play. I'm not really sure. But yeah. Well, let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Aside from my channel and like that. Well, I had a weird conversation. Well, it's not really weird. It's more along the lines of someone not knowing what the nature of duped hats was. Basically, he was talking to me about it, and he'd apparently contacted customer support on Steam, worried that the fact that he had a duped hat would get him in trouble or get him banned or something like that, because he didn't really understand what duped hats were or where they come from, like that. And it's understandable. Anyone who hasn't really been around or dealt with the trading systems in Steam or in Team Fortress 2 very heavily wouldn't really know what duped hats are. So yeah, let's talk. I thought I'd talk a little bit about that, considering the whole gifted, non-gifted thing with unusuals that I was talking about a couple of weeks ago. I figured I'd go into this as well, because duped hats, much like the gifted hats and unusual hats and rare items like that, and buds and bills and stuff like that, those are things people kind of shy away from when it comes to trading on the trading websites and like that. And the reason is it has a stigma attached to it in the community, in the trading community and Steam community and like that, and for different reasons. The gifted thing, I never understood the gifted thing. It's still a good hat. It's still good. The items are still perfectly good. They're not like damaged or have any visual bug to them. I mean, an unusual hat that's gifted is exactly like a non-gifted one, except it has a tag on it. So I never really understood that, aside from the fact that people just didn't want it. Whereas duped items, I do understand why people kind of shied away from that. And the reason is because a duped item has the perception that it is a bugged item, that it is or more accurately, a stolen item, which is potentially true, because that's how the whole duped item thing works. It's usually a stolen item that gets replaced. Because there's a misconception with some people with where dupes come from. A lot of people think all the dupes that are out there come from people using exploits to bug the system. And that is true for a small portion of duped items, because back in the day there would be bugs with Steam Trade, or like gift wrap, or some weird thing that would happen with a Steam update, which would allow people to exploit it to copy items. Basically, like, for example, back when there was two separate different trading systems. There was the Steam overlay trading system that we use now, as well as an in-game Team Fortress 2 trading interface, that were completely separate. So you could trade in-game, or you could go to the Steam overlay and trade through that. Or you could do it both at the same time, and there was a bug that if you did that, you could trade the same item in both interfaces, and both trades would go through, which would copy the item and create duplicates. And that was an example of how people would directly dupe items. But those kind of things, once they become public knowledge, usually got fixed pretty fast by Steam. Steam's pretty good with doing that, with fixing bugs that people exploit like that, especially when it comes to the trading system. So whenever they find something, they do fix it, and they do things like that to get it fixed. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal. The vast majority of duped items today, with what people have, where they come from, is a bit different, because it's not being duped by glitches. It's being duped because they've been stolen. And allow me to explain. You see, whenever somebody has their account stolen and all their items taken, and they go to customer support doesn't retrieve the items for them. They don't take them back. They don't go to the people who currently have them and just take them from that person and then give it back to the person who had it stolen. What they do is they basically give you a copy of everything that was in your inventory before your account was stolen. And that's where all the current dupes, where all the modern dupes are coming from. And the reason they do this is it's a fairly reasonable reason they do this, is because the person who currently has an item that was stolen may not be the person who stole it. In fact, it may have changed hands a dozen different times, excuse me, since the item was actually stolen. So they can't really just go to that person, take the item back, and just treat it as if they are the ones who stole the item. They may not even know the item was stolen. Hell, they may not have even known the person who they got it from may have not known it was stolen. Because here's how it works. Someone will have their account taken. They'll have their account info taken, and then all their items will be traded off. Someone will steal their account, trade all their items off to another account, and then that account will trade it off to someone else. They'll go on this local Team Fortress 2 trading websites or whatever, and they'll just trade it off to someone, like an unusual. They'll go and they'll just trade it like half value, quick selling the unusual to get as much as they can out of it as fast as they can, and then that person who just purchased it will probably sell it off to somebody else, and that person might trade it off to someone else, and by the time Steam support actually gets around to it, it may have changed hands a half dozen times. So the person who currently has it may not have anything to do with the people who actually stole it. So taking it back from them wouldn't really be fair, especially when you take the Steam community market into account, because that's trading and purchasing with actual money, which is a bit more of a headache to deal with, especially when when you're dealing with stolen items. So yeah, but yeah, that's where most of the I'd say about 90% of the modern dupes are coming from. People who've had their account stolen, and then Steam support just basically gives them an exact copy of everything that was stolen. So you have the original that was stolen out there somewhere, and the copy that this person was given. And that's where most dupes come from nowadays, because all of the glitched items, all the items that were duped through glitches is a bit rare, because those kind of glitches don't happen all the time. There's not like a static glitch that you can use right friggin' now to copy an item. That's not how it works. Because, like I said, Steam is pretty good about getting rid of those kind of things as soon as they find out about them. So, yeah. But that is the reason why a lot of people kind of shy away against duped items. And much like the way the gifted unusuals and stuff like that are gifted items, there is a lot of stigma against it, but this one is actually reasonable. Unlike the gifted, this one's reasonable because it is a stolen item. There is a perception that it was a stolen item or a glitched item or something, and people just don't want to deal with that. You don't really want to get involved with stolen stuff. You don't want to get involved with stolen goods and like that. So yeah, there is a legitimate cause for that. Whereas the gifted thing, that's just public opinion, I guess, which is annoying. But yeah, but that's another thing with the whole gifted thing. I was talking about this a couple weeks ago, where I was talking about the fact that you can now remove the gifted by tag from unusuals, from items, and you can no longer see it. But I did find it out, I did test it out myself, and you can remove the gifted item from the actual icon in your inventory, in the Steam inventory, but the gifted by tag is still on the item. It's just hidden. It's not actually removed, it's just hidden. And much like crafting numbers, where you can't actually see them in-game or in your Steam overlay, Steam inventory, you can still see them on the trading websites, on the inventory websites and like that. They're still visible there. So whether or not this is actually going to affect their value is anyone's guess. I don't know. Is this still going to cause people not to want to buy unusuals that are gifted, even though you can't tell they're gifted? But yeah, that's just the whole goes with the whole value of that kind of stuff. But yeah, but I don't know. I really don't know about all this. It's just someone was asking me about it. He had no idea what the whole duped unusual thing was about or what it was. He actually thought he would get in trouble with Steam for having a duped item, even though it's normally Steam themselves who dupe the items. So yeah, but basically, if you have a duped hat, or if you buy or trade for a duped unusual or something like that, you won't get in trouble with Steam, unless you are the person who personally stole the item from someone's account and caused it to be duped, or you are using an exploit directly. You are using an exploit directly to copy items or duplicate items. Like I said before, the whole trading bug back in the day, something like that. If you're the one actually doing it, then you'll get in trouble with Steam. But for the most part, Steam doesn't care about duped items. They don't care about gifted items. They don't care about any of that kind of stuff. The only people who do care are the people on the trading websites, the people on like Outpost or Scrap TF and Bizarre TF and stuff like that. They're the only ones who actually pay attention to it, and for the purposes of gifted and duped items, they're the only ones that will actually go and look for it. If you're selling stuff on the Steam community market or something like that, then no one's actually going to know about it. No one's going to know if it's gifted, no one's going to know if it's duped or anything. And that's one of the main drawbacks of using the Steam community market, especially now that the whole gifting tag can be removed, is that you can't check for it. You can't go to its item history and check to see if it's gifted. You can't check to see if it's duped or anything like that. And that's one of the drawbacks of using the Steam community market for trading like that. So, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. How long have I been going now? Well, I guess that's about long enough, so, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to cut it here, and it looks like there are still some bugged places on this map. Unfortunately, still some areas that the engineers can get to and exploit and not be able to get away from it. Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, the engineers could always get there, but the bigger building right next to it is where it was that they originally could get to, and no one could get to them. So, yeah. I don't know if they fixed that or not, but hopefully they do if they haven't. So, let's see. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been Bobson. This has been more Team Fortress 2 with Bobson. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye.